Hey everyone, welcome back to the latest GoSkills Excel Challenge solution. How close did you get to solving it? Alright, let's jump into this solution for Ilgar's challenge to create a unique list of customers, calculate each one's spend with your company, and assign each customer to one of 3 tiers depending on their spending habits. When we introduced this challenge, we noted that there were 3 steps, but we also hinted that all 3 steps could be done with one formula. So keep that in mind as we step through this challenge and the solution. Over on the Solution tab, we've got customer name, sales amount, and the segment. So let's begin. In the first cell, under customer name, we need to build a list of unique customers, and the unique function is what we'll use. So let's type in equals unique. For the array, we need to select all the cells with the customer names. And once we've done that, close the parentheses and hit enter. It's that simple. We've got 10 customers in this list. Well, we need to use this list to do the next step, which is to compute how much money each customer has spent in total. If we could step down row by row and sum the amounts each customer has spent, that would give us the answer. So let's actually do that using the BYROW and LAMBDA functions. Instead of creating a formula and then copying that down like we do in lots of challenges from cell to cell, we can create this once, and it will perform the actions for each row. So let's stay in the same cell we were before, and let's type in equals BYROW. And we'll put in the unique function that gave us the unique list of customers. That is our BYROW array. When we use BYROW, the second part needs to be some kind of function, so we're going to use LAMBDA. Let's type in cust as the first parameter here. That's the temporary name for the unique formula value in each row, the unique customer. Next, we're going to do the calculation. We'll need to sum the sales amount values, but only when the customer name matches the unique value that we've passed in. So inside that sum, we need a filter. Let's filter the sales amount column, and we filter that array based on the include value, which will be when the value in the customer column equals the cust value, which is the unique value being passed in. So for each customer, we'll go through each row of sales amounts, and if it matches, we'll add it to the sum. When we finish off our parentheses and hit enter, we get the total amount each customer spent. So now we're on to step 3. Let's assign a tier to each customer based on the segment that they fall into, based on their spending. Again, if they spend more than $22,000, they're in the gold group. If they spend less than $12,000, they're in the bronze. And if they're somewhere in the middle, that's the silver group. Let's again stay in the same cell. To generate a result, we need the sales amount. So let's again work off of the formula we created in the cell. We'll add another BYROW at the beginning, and then a LAMBDA after the comma to generate our results. The value we're passing in, let's call it total. And then we're going to perform an ifs, since there are multiple outcomes based on the total or the total customer spend. The ifs part is pretty straightforward. The first logical test is if total is greater than 22,000. We return gold in quotes. So if that's not true, then we test if total is greater than or equal to 12,000, we return silver. And we finish this ifs by typing in true and then bronze in quotes if the first 2 tests that we put in there don't apply to the value. So that means it must be less than 12,000 and therefore in the bronze segment. After we close our parentheses, we hit enter and we've got our gold, silver, and bronze segments. This looks great. Well, now how do we get all 3 of our values to appear in each column? Let's use the HSTACK function. This allows us to combine multiple arrays and display them side by side or stacked horizontally, HSTACK. So let's start by typing HSTACK at the beginning of the formula. The first column was our unique list of customers, remember? So we can add that unique formula that refers to the first column. That gives us the unique list of customers. Then we need to put back the second formula we built to sum the sales amounts for each customer. That was done with the BYROW and LAMBDA. So that second part looks like this. And now for the third part, let's put it back together. We have to add the BYROW back. We need to copy the second part, since that's part of the formula for the third part. We copy that, paste it there. Make sure we have our parentheses and our commas in place. Add one more parentheses to the end. Hit enter, and there you go. Everything is filled in. Customer names, total sales amounts, and the segment that they belong to. All with one big formula. And yes, I know it's a lot. There's a lot of pieces, but when you have everything in place, it is really magical the way that it comes together using the HSTACKs, the BYROWs, the LAMBDAs. How did you accomplish this challenge? We're actually very curious if you were able to do it in one formula or what path you chose. Let us know in the comments or the Slack channel. And thanks again to Ilgar for this challenge. Watch out for next month's challenge. We'll see you then. So there it is. Did you get the same results? Did you use the same approach? Or did you try something different? We'd like to know. Share your take on the challenge in the comments below or join us for more discussion in our Slack channel. Link in the description. Thanks for participating, and make sure to subscribe to this channel to get an alert when the next challenge is released. We'll see you then.